Hello and welcome to Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. I'm HS Blue and I'm really excited to show this game. This is one of the coolest games I've ever seen in a speedrun setting, period. On the left I have Sly Sonic.
Hello, hello.
And on the right I got Oggy.
What's up?
Yeah, we're just gonna start this run in 3, 2, 1, go. So starting off strong, we start in Paris. It's the tutorial stage, and right at the start there's a 4-minute cutscene, but we're just gonna like avoid that on the right. We're gonna jump over here, get in this little corner, and jump around a death plane, and fall all the way to the end of the tutorial. Yeah, you know, we don't really need that. I kind of know what I'm doing already. It's good. And that's the entire tutorial world done. It's that easy.
Very nice.
Yeah, we're going to be skipping these cutscenes, which we did a setup before our making our file where we can skip all the cutscenes that take a really long time, so we can just play the game, which is great. But yeah, I know. We're going to the first world, which is huge. Who wants to talk about the first world?
Yeah, so we'll do a little split setup here. First of all, we're going to meet Based Sign, the best sign in the world. Essentially, proxies in this game works by getting stuck between the object or two objects, and the game just kind of spews you out. So when you get stuck between the rock in a hard place and the sign there, you will just get, the game will just be confused and will spew you out. But what's gonna happen here, Sonic?
But here we have a boost jump. By pausing the game here, we actually get a slowdown animation which allows us to squeeze a tiny extra jump, just barely being able to make it out of bounds here. And now we're going to sort of do this movement up this rock, which is a massive corner cut and skips like 2 cutscenes in the level. It's kind of a big thing. But we're just gonna fall down back to the intended path, and you can see that this is much later into the level than normal. Doing some swag movement here on the water wheels just to skip the cycle, skip having to wait for a cycle at the end. And we break the alarm and we are approaching our first key. So keys in this game are pretty much essential. They are the main progression collectible of the game. You collect a whole bunch of keys to unlock different sections of the hub world, and from there you collect all of them to unlock the boss. But I'm gonna sort of hand it over to Augie to explain more about the keys in any percent.
Welcome to the hub world. So the hub is generally it's 7 levels. There's 2 parts where it's split between what we call a hub barrier. So what Blue is gonna do here is gonna pick up a charm that we need for the next world, so don't worry about that yet. It's gonna traverse over here. It's going for now a trick called Snot Jump. There's plenty of tricks you can get over here with, but Snot Jump or Luger Lunge is the preferred one nowadays because of the speed. Essentially just gonna jump on the snot of this octopus, jump straight over, and boom, we're now in the second part of the hub world. Very quickly, this is gonna be very fast. So now we're gonna do something called super jump, where you start your position there, and if you whack your cane before hitting the ground and then jumping, the game doesn't register that Sly has moved from the original place that Blue started in. So if you now get stuck in something like this, you're gonna fly straight back there, through the boss trigger, and straight into the boss level.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we just skipped the entire world for World 1. There's like a bunch of levels, and all those keys on that cannon are for each individual like level. But yeah, we can just skip all that. I am playing this game with a PS2 disc on a PS3 console. This is the rare backwards compatible PlayStation 3. And with this console, you can reset your game with the press of a button, which is huge. We can just I need to change my monitor. So there we go, HDMI. Yeah, that's huge because we can skip cutscenes, and when you enter a world or a cutscene, the game saves, and so I'm able to refresh the cutscene by refreshing the console. But yeah, so on the PS2 it takes a lot longer, and so it's not worth it for all cutscenes. Here we got the boss fight. Whew. I'm counting in my head how many bounces. So for round 1 and round 2, our boss over here bounces 5 times, so 3, and then 2 more. And when he deflates, that's when you hit him. But I time my hit perfectly, so as the frog jumps, I hit him, so he doesn't end up in the water losing us time. 4. Okay. Ooh, unfortunate there. So yeah, each perfectly timed hit can save around like 2 to 3 seconds. So it builds up. And here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm gonna hit him. View map, and instead of it playing the cutscene, we're gonna go straight to the hideout, leave world 1, go to the next world, without watching the whole ending cutscene. Huge. World
Yeah, it's
2.
By the
very
way,
nice.
for quick info here, the frog's government name is Raleigh the Frog. Very good info.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so now we are in beautiful Mesa City, Utah. We are in the second world now. Every world has this introduction level, so this is Rocky Start. We are going to meet up with this dog called Cletus here, and if Blue lines this up correctly, we could be seeing a very cool skip here. So let's see. We're going to use this dog's hitbox to launch Sly super far into the level, getting hit by the invisible wall, but that's not too bad at all. You can take every launch you get, and it's way faster than going the normal route. We're going to collect a backup charm here. Charms in this game are pretty needed because this is a one-hit kill game, but a charm lets you take 1 hit. So having a sort of blue or silver charm will let you take 1 hit. Having a gold charm will let you take 2 hits. And there's a lot of routing that goes into these charms in any percent to make sure we have them in optimal scenarios and whatnot. But here we're at the end of Rocky Start already. We're going to pick up this key here. We can technically skip this key animation, but it's kind of risky because you can actually clip out of bounds and die. But yeah, we're just gonna open the door into the next hub world.
Yes, so we're now going to head straight into the hotel district, where Mugshot the dog has set up his criminal enterprise. So right here we're going to do something called World 2 skip, but before that, Blue is now loading to skip this cutscene because it automatically puts you on the bridge when you load after finishing the previous level. So that's a neat thing you can do on the original PS2 version of the game. But here again, we're going to get the game doesn't like it, gonna spew me out type strat, so Blue is gonna get stuck between an invisible wall and this, I guess, rock that kind of overextends itself. Gonna make this gap here, and right there we're out of bounds. Now we're running on like the inside, outside, up, down roof of this hotel building and its facades. So it's just gonna keep moving over here, jump down to this specific area, and right here is gonna start a super jump chain, just like in Hub 1. Right behind Mugshot's dog's face here is the loading trigger for the boss, so Blue is gonna go straight through that and hit the trigger, straight into the
Very
Mugshot boss
nice.
fight.
There you go.
There is a really cool cutscene here, which we sadly reset on.
Yeah.
Where Mugshot is talking about some nice pictures and a lot of words, calling Sly some
Yeah.
horrible names.
I
Sorry,
think
guys.
out of every boss introduction we skip, I think that is the longest one. So it's way worth it to just reset over it. Unfortunate, because it's a really cool cutscene, but yeah, resetting the game takes about 35 to 40 seconds on BCPS3, and that cutscene is 1 minute, so saving a whole bunch of time there into the
God.
most intense boss fight here.
Yeah, so the boss fights in this game are unique, all of them, which is very interesting because usually it's just like a run up and hit the boss type deal or something specific you have to do. But for this, we are overheating Mugshot's guns, which I believe
Makes sense.
from the lore, Mugshot has bought them and gotten scammed because they are extremely bad and can't even handle single light coming from I don't even know what to call these light bulbs, but something sunlight bad type of automatic revolver guns. He got scammed definitely. There ain't there's no way about it.
Bro,
but
bought
yeah,
his guns
now-
and wish. Oh shit.
Absolutely. Now heading straight into a little trick here called chandelier jump, which, as you might can tell, is gonna jump on the chandelier. It is not blocked. Thank you, developers. It's gonna run around here. Put on these ones. Oh. Good that we have a charm here. Just gonna go and hit this last one. And we missed that, so we have to reset the game. There is 3 ways this can be done. Actually 4. You can pause too early, and then you will have to load to be able to get the percentage to go through where the progress is saved. You can pause right after or as it saves. That way you can just view map straight to the car. That's the optimal one to get. For safety strats, you can run off the chandelier and in and take damage and die, essentially. That's basically the same working as the load. Or you can pause too late and the cutscene starts. That way you have to reset the console. So there's sadly some time loss, but there's nothing to worry about.
So it looks like we haven't killed the boss, but I can just go to the hideout, and since we actually did kill the boss, even though we didn't, we can just like, yeah, the next world loads up.
Yeah.
Oh,
All the
gosh.
game really tracks is that the bosses have been killed. It doesn't matter if you watch the cutscenes. But here we're in World 3's introduction level. We are going to be going for a pretty robust set of lineups here, so that we can get Sly stuck here, pressing the PlayStation button to release every button, and if we did this right, Sly will go flinging over to the same spot out of bounds every time. And from here, because this level is sort of like a big C shape, curve around, you can just go straight to the end of the level. Sort of clearing out the candles here so that we can pick up the first key, and why don't you go ahead and explain World 3 to us, Blue?
Yeah, so we finished the tutorial for World 3 and we're entering the hub world. This is like one of the only worlds where you can't just skip all the levels. We actually have to play them all, but there's huge skips within these levels, and so there's a lot of technical stuff coming up. Yeah, here we go. Straight away, we're gonna pause and load our file. So we're in the middle of this hub. Our first level is in the right here. Save what, half a
This
second,
is
like
Lair of the Beast.
not the beast.
This level is kind of infamous for, having a big beast chase you down at the end. There's like a really cool chase sequence, but
So cool.
we're first going to skip this cutscene by running into it and loading game, because that works, of course it does. And we're going to do some tricky movement here to sort of skip going the long way around this wall. And we are going to just slide on through. We're going to go to this side area, which normally just leads to some bottles, but if we hit this cane jump to give us a bunch of distance, we can land out of bounds on this wall here. And if we go along this wall, we're actually right at the end of the level. No beast to be seen. So we're going to swing an exit level, which will collect the key but skip the long sort of key animation that Sly does. It's a lot faster than... It's like a 7-second animation, so skipping that is really nice. And now we are on to Fish.
Oh
The
boy.
best level. Welcome to Piranha Lake. A beautiful, swamp-like, voodoo-filled area with bloodthirsty piranhas. But as you see, Sly has the skiff of a lifetime here. So the developers probably thought this. They could probably choose one thing they wanted to do, maybe 2, who knows? And they chose to make this level. So essentially, you just have to get 25 of these torches or lanterns lit. And how do we light them? Blue is just running over piranhas here. What's happening here is that Sly is on a skiff that has a built-in piranha crunching or cruncher oil factory type system that liquefies the piranhas into a flammable fluid, which it then spews out of its built-in flamethrower in a very humane way to then light these torches. So essentially what Blue is doing now is basically a fish oil factory going ham on these torches. I don't even know what to call them. I feel like every time I say torches, it feels wrong. But I guess they're torches.
Yeah, this is the
Totems?
only way. This is the only way to complete this level. Trust me. There is no other way. There is no huge skip. Trust me. It doesn't exist. I
Trust me,
refuse to
bro.
believe it exists.
There is potentially a way,
Maybe.
but
Oh my.
anyway, heading into the next one. Who wants to take that?
All right. So this is a pretty simple jump here, which we failed. Awesome.
Good timing.
But we are going to
There
just
we go.
skip a bunch of hub wall movement by doing this sort of precise double jump up here into Grave Undertaking. Now, this level has seen a lot of different variations of strats, and this one is among the easier ones, but it's still kind of hard. We're immediately going to go out of bounds here, lining up, getting a ledge trap here, which is a little bit tricky to see because the PS2 version of this game is quite dark, but there we go. We get the ledge grab, do a bit of movement on this tree here, and this level is essentially just one huge circle, so if you can go the other way that the game intends you to, then you're just at the end of the level. Very good game design. So now we are going to exit level on this key, and yeah, now we got some movement here. Why don't you
go.
take this one, Blue?
So I'm gonna do a super jump,
Slope jump,
slope
yeah.
jump, and so if you jump against the slope or going down, you can like go really high up, and go essentially just directly out of bounds, and skip the entire half hub world. So we are on the other side of the hub world. We're meant to go another way. Oh boy, chickens. The chickens minigame, very infamous. There's these chickens. It's kind of crazy. We want to avoid these bomb chickens and hit the KFC. Like, I don't even know the tasty chicken.
Finger licking good chicken.
The colonel would be proud. Okay, it's crazy, but there's a method to the madness. Okay, and I'm not following that method. Please. Oh my god.
Yeah, chickens can
So-
sort of take a random path and can sort of avoid Slice Cane because that's great. Of course they can, but there is sort of a method to the madness. You can improve significantly at chickens, but in a pressure scenario like this, like especially during a run, it's just can be very stressful to get a good chickens.
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
missing
as a note to anyone watching, we made Blue commentate this part of the run just because of how chaotic it is. It's kind of
I'm
like a
panicking.
pressure washer simulator here. Very nice, very nice.
He does well under pressure.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Okay.
Missing the pause there. We do have to watch the key animation, but that's not bad at all. Like I said, it's only like 7 seconds. We could have just missed the key entirely and exited level. I've
Oh
done that
my.
a lot of times. Minor optimization there. We can land in a specific way that takes us out of the vehicle and just walk into the trigger. Saves like 0.1 seconds or whatever, but it's cool.
A fun little thing. You're not meant to be able to walk in.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. This is important. This is actually how I got to ESA. This boat. It was a journey. Let me tell you, as an Australian, you know, the journey was not TSA, man. So there's a lot of like little setups here that I'm following. That fire guy can't hit you because the boat is like moving at a set speed. I have a lineup with the mask, and I can just run in and break all these things. And now we're free from the boat. All right, we're now at the tram, the train.
Making it to ESA with this one. But yeah, essentially, Galaxy Voyage actually has like a bunch of skips, but a lot of them are pretty much TAS only, or you can only fluke them. So we're just going to go like really quickly, casually down the level, because there's like a really high chance of just dying attempting a lot of strats. So we want to, we want to avoid death as much as we can. Just shooting through here. There are a few optimizations with how you can shoot these things, but a lot of them are extremely risky and tight. Like that one right there, you're just inching towards death. And now we're going to go for a fast strat here. Ollie, if you want to explain this one.
Yes. So essentially, the level is tilted, or there's a higher level behind you. So blue is manages to, if he stays up here, he can aim above the what can I say, fencing, I guess, the knuckle fencing around the towers.
Yeah,
and
the like protection.
Yes. So you can shoot over it, and you just have to listen for the sound effects. Now though, blue is going to do some pretty nice movement to dodge these lights, heading straight into Descent into Danger. Descent into Danger is, or when you play it casually, it's one of the more grueling platformers. A lot of guards that can spot you and kill you, but blue doesn't really care about that. He's just going to go for a cane jump here, which we call bone jump, and jump straight up, go a little bit out of bounds here, to go over to inbound again, to then now he's going to do some interesting setup to, oh, almost, let's see, oh, yep, slides a little funky. He's, oh yeah, you should be good here.
Oh wait, oh!
Yeah, you still have the
iframes, yeah.
Oh, but now it's so cool, because now we can see the bone jump again, where he cane jumps over to this area.
Yeah, you like narrowly avoid spikes like that. It's actually super duper hard to avoid those spikes. 2 times in a row is clean.
Yeah, that was not even close.
What?
So blue is going to jump here and perfectly time another jump to go through both of the water planes here, because there's 2 of them for some reason. Go submerge and then just go straight out and back into chickens to save time with movement in the hub level.
Yeah,
So-
and that is World 3 pretty much already done. So we are going to put in the keys here and unlock the sort of platform that rises you up to the boss fight here. We
Yeah,
can't skip into this because funny triggers, so we touch
Yeah.
the plate and then we get sent to the boss.
World 3 skip is something that has been puzzled with for ever since the game started coming up and the first hub skip was found. The way it works, from our knowledge, is that there is one trigger that is when you open it with the 7 keys. Then when that trigger is activated, the other trigger that gets you into the world, or to the boss fight, opens. That trigger is just located where Sly tips over into the mouth of the crocodile or alligator, which is right above where chickens is, and the out of bounds there with the slope jump, which you can reach without any problem. So if the trigger was active at all times, we would be able to actually hit it, but sadly the game doesn't allow us to do that.
So this is the Ms. Ruby boss fight. We start off with a bit of platforming here to get to Ruby. And normally what you're supposed to do is hit her, and then she sort of explains the mini game that she's about to get you under. But instead of doing that, we can actually jump off here and go out of bounds, do a bunch of jumps and a bunch of tricky movement, which, you know, it's easier said than done, this movement, just sort of landing on invisible walls here. And for some reason, if we just touch this water at the end here, that allows us to basically completely skip that cutscene of Ms. Ruby explaining the game. The game for some reason just thinks we died in the next phase of the fight, so it just takes us there. Very nice.
Alright. Now we got the
Right.
the rapper section. You're meant to time the button presses, right? But for safety, you can just mash the buttons. There's no penalty for not hitting the right button. So, yeah, I like to mash it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're early or late, you can just mash the button as it comes to you, which is very nice, especially big shoutouts here to the remaster version. This boss fight is very desynced on the remaster version, so being able to sort of mash through the buttons is very nice. And yeah, just speaking of the remaster version, because it's kind of separate from the PS2 version, it has a bunch of different tricks and a bunch of different routes. I had the pleasure of showing off remaster for a few events, and yeah, it's definitely big shout outs to the remaster people. Obviously here would be the time for messages and all of that jazz, but
There
this
is
a
a
submission
skip
video,
coming up.
so-
Do you want to touch up on that one?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
for sure. Oh yeah, you go.
Do you want to take it, Sonic? Ready. Well, we have some time here, so you want to do rock paper scissors or paper scissors rock, as Blue would say. But yeah, I guess I won that one. Okay, so right now Blue is going to do what's called Miss Ruby double hits, which is essentially where instead of hitting Miss Ruby once, Blue is going to hit her twice, which will count as a hit for both of the sections.
Boom, boom.
So there, right there, perfect. So Blue, the first hit that went through, hit for the third phase, and the fourth hit for the fourth phase. How that works and why, who knows? But it works, and it's wonderful. And that last section is extremely hard. Now heading into World 4, there's a skip here.
Yeah, so in the introduction level previously, we've had a big skip that involves Sly getting really high. Here is no different. This one is a really precise trick though, so using a really specific lineup to get Sly launched all the way up here. Unfortunately, missing it, that is a very sketchy, it's a very sketchy sort of trick to look out for, but if we line it up right, we get a bunch of height and we can skip this entire sort of ascent. This level is literally called a perilous ascent, so there's a lot of verticality to it, so skipping it all with this nice proxy is just really
Very
nice.
nice.
There you go.
Oh, thank God.
That I can't stress how precise that is. We have like a bunch of lineups for that and it's still horrible, so yeah, just sort of getting through this section here, ending off perilous ascent. Blue, why don't you explain the sort of ending here?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot, okay, so, oh my. Yeah, so there's a lot that we're gonna be skipping. There's a whole, okay, wait, I'm gonna jump around here. We were meant to be sneaking around this entire building, but we can just jump up with a little, have a little boost jump and hit the fireworks at the top instead of climbing all the way around, sneaking around all those guards. So that's a big skip right there. And then there's a whole like section to the right of this place to unlock this door. But we can do the jumpy thing. The jumpy thing. And
super jump thing.
the super jump. And oh my gosh, we just skipped the entire lock like part of the level. And we're in the main hub. Oh my god, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, okay, so I have to speak a little bit faster. So what Blue is going to do now is going to do a out of bounds slingshot using the super jump chain to set his position. First going to do a boosted jump onto this fence. This is a little bit tight because it's very slippery. Beautiful, made it up there. Now Blue is going to set the position here for which direction the slingshot is going to be put in. Going to go out of bounds here and let's see. And get slingshotted.
Good.
It's very high. Oh,
Alright.
I'll take
perfect! Right into the
Very
trigger.
nice.
That's a big
Beautiful.
one.
So there's a lot of different setups and versions of this. I believe it's 3 or 4 different levels where you can do this from. Originally, it was way further in the level, and or both. Yeah, I think it's 3. There's the 2 originally found ones. That was a long time ago. They were. They took some time because you had to traverse through the level a little bit out of bounds, but now a new one has been found right here next to the beginning of the load, so you're able to do it much faster. I believe there's probably, I would say probably 20, 30 maybe different setup videos from probably 10, 15 different people on how to do this. But yeah, so this is Panda King, big boss. Who wants to take this one?
Yeah, I can explain for a little bit. So, right here, if we hit Panda King 10 times, it progresses to his next phase. He's meant to do this bounce back sort of thing where he, bounces you all the way back. But if we hit a little trick here called Grim Panda, we can actually completely skip that bounce back, and he just remains scared for some reason. It's a really hard trick to get, so getting it twice there is really, really nice though. Just clearing out the Panda King here, this is pretty much the only straightforward boss fight in the game, where you just beat him, and then we sort of deliver the last hit, pause the game to skip a bunch of cutscenes, and we have unlocked World 5.
The final world. Alright, oh boy. So this last world is a little bit different from all the other worlds. There is no hub. It's just level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then boss, right? This first level is, it's easy until it's not. There's, right at the end, there's a mass amount of these guys right here coming up. You'll see them soon. The like little owls, they fly around like crazy. Look at how hard they are to hit. Okay, well,
He's too good. He's too good.
Okay.
Actually, it's Robo Falcons, like Murray just said. But yeah, we'll let that fly. But yeah, so right in this level right here, it can get a bit hectic for the runner. So it depends. There's a perfect space for any comments or whatever it might be, donations, or just general talking about the level and some history around it. There's a few things you can do here. You can remove the reticle if you're a badass. You can also view the nice spots like the rocks behind us that we just finished, where a lot of runs has died. These mines here are placed so that when the car runs over them, they obviously take damage. But some of them, as you saw when Blue drove straight past them in the beginning, that just drove past them. Doesn't really need to even shoot them. But right here comes up the big Robo Falcon Owl section that Blue was talking about, where they essentially just spawn a plethora of them, and Blue has to shoot them. If they manage to get close to the reticle or to Sly and go away, they start spinning in a fireball of doom, and we'll essentially just try to take out Sly. Oh my god, okay.
That was
Blue
quick.
finished that way quicker than expected.
That is
So
insane!
nice. It's actually
That
crazy.
was quick.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's the most stressful 2.5-minute auto scroller you will ever see. So now we are in Burning Rubber, doing a quick restart here to sort of set up for a trick here and skip the cutscene. We are going to push this slug out of bounds, and if we push him far enough out, essentially this entire level is just the same 4 slugs respawning over and over again. So if one of those slugs gets stuck out of bounds, he will just fall forever, and it makes this minigame significantly easier and faster. The objective of this minigame is to break 60 of these computer screens before the slugs do, so having one less slug to deal with makes this a 3v1, which makes this way easier than a 4v1. So yeah, we're just going to sort of drive through here. There is like a task cutscene skip at the end of this, but yeah. It requires pretty much perfect RNG. You want one of these computers to land in the ending area, and then you want to just have like a really fast setup for the task cutscene skip. But other than that, this level doesn't have too much going on. We're just going to be focusing on a lot of sort of movement optimizations. A big thing here is that pushing the slugs off to the side is way better than pushing them off like closer to the forward or back of the level, simply because they take longer to swim back up if you push them off to the side. But yeah, just collecting 60 computers, nice and clean. Almost there. A bunch of computers here. And I was thinking the same thing then. There we go.
That one, if there was no enemies there, I could have set up something insane. But yeah.
This the community has figured out that Bentley also is a liar because he says that there's 120 computers or something, 119 computers. There is actually more. So
Yeah,
so Bentley
there
is
is
not
no-
smart as we thought.
There is no limit, it just continuously gives you computers. But here's a daring rescue. You want to take this one, Augie?
Yes. So here there is. Loaded a little bit too early. There's a plethora of different ways to do this. But right here, Blue is going to do.
Wait, what's?
I think you're loading a little bit too quickly.
Oh.
I think you double loaded that one, yeah.
Oh
There you
yeah.
go.
So yeah. So now it's just gonna set up a super jump chain here to put this ramp down. Going to set up for the turret head abuse, kind of the opening mechanic of the turret. So setting up this a little bit precise, then going to jump on top of it and fly straight into the trigger. Ooh, that's very close.
Extremely unlucky.
Hitting the wall, that's unfortunate, but yeah,
It is,
essentially when you get flung like that, the camera actually gets stuck, and the cutscene that's normally supposed to trigger and take you to a mandatory level of the game just doesn't trigger, so you can just walk right through it and go to the level after that.
Yeah, because for some reason when the devs made this, they made it so that if the camera enters the trigger zone of the new level and cutscene that's gonna pop up, that's a hacking level that takes a while. It's based on the camera's placement, which is kind of interesting, but very good for us. Now we're heading into temporary truce.
Yeah,
What's
this is
going
like
on
oh, I think you got hit there.
Oh.
Yep, he's gone.
Oh.
So temporary truce is pretty much just a minute auto scroller, but there are a lot of nuances to it. You want to shoot a bunch of slugs, especially that second slug, because if you don't shoot him, I will actually take a very slow path up to the tower. So that saves about 2 seconds to shoot that one, and you want to sort of pre-fire a lot of these enemies and these lights here that are blocking Slice path. Because you don't want to sort of wait around. This is pretty much auto scroller when it comes to speedrunning.
Yeah, fun fact. So these little like glob guys at the top, there's like a small chance that they can go inside of each other and then like pop out, and you just like it flings itself into the character and you die. It's like so dramatic. So funny.
That has happened more than a few times on PB pace, but here we have Sinking Peril. This is a huge movement gauntlet here. We're going to load here to get a lot further into the level, and we are immediately going to be thrown into a whole bunch of cycles. This entire tower is sinking and tilting different ways, but we are going to do a little shortcut here to get up here, trigger the gears, and if we land on this third gear, we can actually very easily skip up here. That skips a huge corner of the level, and now sort of going up this pipe here. And remember, this is on the cycle, which makes this skip really hard.
Very nice.
First try is just insane. Getting the quick cycle makes it so much easier, but obviously you have to be really quick. That was a very clean Sinking Peril.
That
Oh
was
my.
so clean.
Talk about clean, heading into the best boss fight in the gaming history. A strange reunion featuring the owl that killed his entire family versus Sly. So Sly is on a revenge here, going to take out Clockwork from doing any more menacingly things. So essentially there's some areas that we have to shoot. The head, the talons, the tail, and the wing. So what Blue is doing here is moving out of the way to either right or left, making the turret at the top of Clockwork shoot in that direction, so he then can line up and shoot the part that Carmelita has taken down the shield, I believe, what she's actually doing with her shock blaster cannon. But you don't really know that because we've skipped every single cutscene Carmelita has been in. So yeah, and somehow Carmelita put a rocket at the top of this before she was captured. A little bit plot
Makes
hole.
sense.
Don't worry about it. It works completely fine. My favorite villain, Clockwork. It's just goated dialogue, goat character. But surely he won't be taken down here by Blue.
Please.
Who knows? We'll see. So yeah, that was first phase. That's just essentially just flying around, dodging, and going there. And second phase is completely different. We're going to be flying around and dodging things here as well. But dodging here is going to be dodging basically purple rings. And the rings, if you don't fly in the middle of them, they will shoot out lasers to the side, as you see. And if Blue gets on the outside of the ring, he will take damage and he will die. So the parts we're gonna have to be shooting here is left wing, head, left right wing, and the right wing. And there is a slight chance here that the purple ring can come back and bite us in the ass. It's rather rare, and I'm not quite sure how it actually works, but the game just spews it back at you.
I think it bounces on a rock in the background and flings
Yeah,
directly
it bounces on the platforms that you use for the next phase. So for some reason they are interactable and they will just completely 180 the rings. But speaking of last phase, here we go.
Oh no.
This is a very, very sick part of the run. There is one last jump Blue has to do to finish this out. It's called Clockwork Jump. If Blue nails this, this is a GG. Oh,
Let's
beautiful.
go.
First
Beautiful.
try. Let's go. End of the run. And I am
Jeez. Very nice.
very nice.
It took some tricky
Yeah, that
maneuvering.
skip at the
I
end
managed to snatch that last piece of
will
the
either
devious
save you
raccoonus from
30
Clockwork's
seconds
claw.
or lose you 2 minutes.
taken
So
down
that's
each member of
really
the
nice. It's
tribe.
so high
Molly,
pressure to get first try.
Mudshot,
Yeah.
And that
Newsworthy,
is Sly
Panda
Cooper.
King, and finally Clockwork. I'd beaten them
Wow.
all one by one and
Yeah.
reclaimed my
I hope
birthright.
this gets in. This is an incredible
Of course,
speedrun,
there
and
was
I would
no way
love
could
to
have gotten here
showcase this.
without the
This
help
is
of my pals.
this would be a
I know
dream.
this hasn't been easy
But
for them,
yeah,
but they stuck
thank
with
you
me through
for
it all.
having me. And yeah, like thank
Boy,
you,
it
like
took a lot of
Oggy
guts for him
and
to get out in the field with
Sly
me.
Sonic. Thank you guys so
I
much
know
for
he was
commentating.
scared,
This is
but he's got more heart
is-
than
this is
anyone
beautiful.
I've ever known.
this is sick.
Hell yeah.
Thank
We
goodness
are
for
so
Bentley.
beautiful.
Without his expertise,
All right,
I'd have
and
never
with
found
that,
my
I'm
way off
signing
that
off.
rooftop
All right.
in Paris.